In today's video, I will be interviewing one of my one-on-one mentorship students, Ed Camps. He just wrapped up the mentorship with some seriously impressive progress. Before Ed joined my one-on-one mentorship program, he had some experience with trading, but he was struggling learning ICT and having very break-even trading results. He was on and off with trading and never found real consistency. But just a few months under my guidance and learning exactly how I trade inside of my mentorship program, Ed was able to completely change the way that he approaches his market and his trading results. We built structure in his trading plan. He built confidence in executing his system, and he ended my 4 months of one-on-one mentorship with $30,000 in profit and an 80% win rate. In today's video, we're going to discuss Ed's full transformation in detail. We're going to talk about where he started, the doubts he faced, the breakthroughs he's experienced, the trades he took that got him to this point, and what actually made it all click for him. Hello, Ed. How are you doing today?
Fine, fine. And you?
I'm also doing good. I'm glad to chat with you again. Okay, so Ed, I wanted to say officially congratulations on graduating the Options Trading Accelerator.
Thank you, thank you. That looks good. It
Yes,
will
here's
it
your
will look
certificate.
better on my wall.
I sent it over to you. So you've been one of my most dedicated students this year that I've mentored. So you've seriously earned this as your certificate of completion. And this is going to be proof of all the growth that you've made in your trading over the past 4 months. You've made a big improvement in your consistency and your mindset and the structure that you built into your trading. So I want you to maintain that structure. And the first thing I wanted to say is I'm proud of you and the results that you made.
Thank you very much. Your program, it's very complete. I have taken other courses, or maybe not courses, but small learning, and yours is the most complete. It has everything from A to Z. And even though you're not doing those vertical spreads and all that stuff that I know that exist and brings you money, right? But even the basic thing, call and a put, uh, your academy has everything from A to Z.
Thank you, Ed. And what I want to talk about firstly when we start off is I want to start with what your trading looked like before you joined my mentorship and how things shifted to over the past 4 months. So when you first joined my mentorship, I remember the first day that you joined my one-on-one program, I took a look at the previous trades you were taking in the past, and I noticed you were using some ICT strategies previously, but you switched your strategy. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is how that strategy shift helped you.
Okay, first of all, I didn't use any stop loss. Like I buy my contract and the price, whatever it was, either I lose it completely. If it was going to be good, then I'll have to be prepared for selling or I'll get the option assigned, right? The contract. But I never used stop loss on the strategy that I had, the one strategy that I learned when I started this program. I mean, when I started options, I keep using part of that strategy, but I didn't use any stop loss. So I learned in your program how to place that stop loss. It has helped me a lot because it was going to be pretty difficult not using stop loss and trying to get more contracts or improve my win loss. It was going to be difficult because if I get 10 contracts at, let's say, $100, did you imagine no stop loss for that? A lot of money will be lost, right? So that has helped me a lot. Using a stop loss, I learned your program and I don't place any trade. Maybe I can one time if I see something good, I hit the buy button, but then I will, minutes after, I will place the OTA, right? So it has helped me a lot using the stop loss. That's the very first thing that your program, your academy teaches, and like no trade, do not trade without a stop loss. Yes.
100%. So something I'm curious though is before my mentorship program, you were like kind of break even with your trading. And even though you didn't use stop losses though, there was a pretty drastic change in the results and like you consistently hitting like winning trades. And I don't think just putting a stop loss is what improved your win rate to 80%. So do you think like implementing supply and demand to the previous strategy that you learned before is like what helped you improve the win rate?
Yes, basically using that supply and demand has helped me a lot. I went from daily to 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 90 minute. It takes time. That extra times, it will pays, right? Selecting multiple demand zones. Even though I'm ready to place a trade, if I didn't have marked the previous or the next zone, and I will lose the trade because sometimes the price react not to the first zone, but then to the second or to the third, right? And I learned in your program that I have to mark like 2 or 3 zones, right? To be prepared. Anything could happen. Market could go down 100 points, and that's normal, but then it will react. Another thing, it's not chasing every trade. Like, I see a candle here and I see the 9 EMA, I see the VWAP, and I'm ready to place a trade. But in your program, I've learned to be patient and not to chase every trade. Like if I chase every trade, maybe I will get more loss. And in trading, you want to save your account. You want to uh, not trading is good trading, right? Skipping a trade that you're not completely sure is better than entering just by, those confirmations that helped me a lot because
Yes.
those confirmations are like, part of everything. And sometimes you say you need one, you need two, you need three. But in the end, when you place that buy or you want to, if it's okay or not, even though the market could do anything and sometimes you get a stop loss, it's okay. But if you ask me how many confirmations, I'm getting a journal and I write everything. And in the end, I just want to make sure that I did one or two or three or whatever. Not hesitate, but I want to make sure that my confirmations were there.
Okay.
So your confirmations has helped me a lot. The supply, the demand, not chasing every trade. Like, sometimes I wanted to, the whole day pass through and no trades. And I was like, I have a lot of stocks in here. And you're going to tell me that I didn't take any trade. But, it's part of the process. If it's not there, then maybe it is a loss. Maybe it is a win. Maybe it is a partial win. Not chasing every trade. I have learned that from you and your academy, and that has helped me a lot.
I'm glad to hear about that. And with that, too, I want you to kind of reflect on where you were before you joined my mentorship because you took some other trading courses in the past. And now that you've been talking, something that I think that also helped you is how I structure it because I give you an actual system approach to follow. For example, you mentioned supply and demand, you mentioned my confirmations, but with that, it's like the whole process that I teach you, like first creating the pre-market plan, making sure you know what zones you're interested in. So then right when the market opens, you get your confirmations and you don't have to hesitate and you could click the buy trigger. Did like that thing that I taught you about like the system and the process and the routine, did that help you?
Yes, a lot. But since, I started with the strategy, my strategy, the one that I use, I had to look at few stocks, decide to enter right before the market closed, right? So that practice, I had it and I still have it. And I take a lot of time. I have modified because last time I had to do it like 30 minutes before market close. But now, with the supply and demand zones, I could do it after the market close or maybe before the market opens. But that part, I had it like in my mind and my previous strategy. I had to do that and I learned that. So that thing, it's like it stays with me, right? I also wanted to say that I have learned in your program not trading on special days like news. Like if I see my journal and I find those losses, all of them, most of them are on news days. Like, I won't do it anymore. It's like I don't need to. FOMC day or FOMC or whatever, it's gonna mess up every trading. Unless you enter right before the news and you know where the price is gonna be. Like you're doing like you know what you're doing. But you're being on a trade. On those days, it's catastrophic, right? I mean, sometimes even in Forex, when I did Forex, the broker will close your order whenever he wants. And on the top, $300 more or less. Trading on news, I do not recommend to anyone unless you trade on news, unless you know what you're doing. I believe that the 99% of people don't know what's going to happen in news. So that has helped me a lot. And also, I wanted to tell you about the risk versus reward, right? It's very important. Like if I see a trade and I pre-place my risk reward box and I see a 1 to 1, 1 to 2, I see the stop loss right down there. I'm not gonna take that trade. The risk reward has helped me a lot. Even though uh, I mark the 1 to 3, and sometimes I don't get the 1 to 3, but at least I know that I mark it. I at least know with the ATR that it has a possibility to go there, right?
Uh-huh. And I know during our mentorship, that was one thing that actually made a big impact for you because I taught you how to use the ATR for your trades. Was that another thing that like I
Yeah,
taught you?
yes, the ATR is really important. But as I'm telling you, like for example, today, none of those ATR, they work, right? Because there are some days in the market that the ATR, you have to cut it to half, right?
It's like an average. So if there's like less than average volume, usually there'll be less than average movement.
Yes. But I mean, if I pre-plan and if I pre-select an option or a stock with an ATR that falls within the range, right? And it's a normal trading day, which we never know what day is gonna be that, right? But at least measuring the ATR has helped me a lot with the risk versus reward.
That's good.
Because last time or before your program, I bought this stock, I bought the option, and I was expecting a move of a lot of points within maybe 1 or 2 days, and it's not gonna happen.
It was like an unrealistic target. So you learned how to set more realistic targets and basically just to know where to exit your trade. I think that's what you didn't have in the past. You didn't know where to stop out and you didn't know where to take profit. So that was one thing I helped you define.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the perfect trade, it's from supply to demand or demand to supply. You never know when it's going to happen. Maybe it will take 1 day, maybe it will take more, but the ATR has helped me a lot. Like also there are companies that follow the ATR pretty good, but there are others that they don't. And on top of that, there are days like today, like the ATR is not going to help you. So, mixing, it's something about mixing and matching. Like you enter in the market and you pre-select some things that you think that they're going to happen, but you never know.
So like you mentioned with mixing and matching, something you also mentioned in the beginning of this call is that you took multiple courses and you felt like mine was the most A to Z course. Can you mention the type of things that I include that maybe like other programs don't include?
The rinse and repeat, there's something in about your program that it tells you about like having a set of rules before to take a trade, right? It's real difficult. You don't get to any other academy that will tell you you have to do this and follow this and this other thing, and then you'll get a trade. You could close the laptop and forget about everything. You're so like, secure and you're sure that that trade is going to work, right? But in some academies, you don't get that. You just you enter here, this line broke this other support resistance got broken, prices on top of the SMA 20, 40, whatever, and take the trade. All of those things are A plus in your academy. You say you open the trade here, and then you should look for the previous day highs, or there's a possible resistance there, or you just target the next zone. Those things are A plus. You don't get to learn that in any other place. There are some good days, there are some bad days, but in the long run, you learn that the price will open in one place and it will close in that other place. That's an A plus of your academy. I have to tell you and tell everybody that when you have those three things, you're more secure before taking a trade. If it went not in your favor, then you're going to have that 15 to 20% loss, which is okay. I mean, anyone that enters to the trading business and don't get a stop loss from time to time, I want to meet that to meet them because it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult.
And all of that being said, and you've still maintained an 80% win rate over 100 trades.
Well, basically, your academy has helped me a lot, but I want to say that combining my previous strategy, right, with what I learned in OTA, those possible react zones, and not like some trades, if I wanted to go from zone to zone, but if I already have my 1, 2, 3, maybe if I get greedy and I want no, I want the 1 to 5. I see the supply zone there and price is going to be there. No, those three things, my previous strategy, using your supply and demand, and just the 1 to 3. Those three things all combined together, they're giving me that 80%.
That's what was the
Like,
turning point for you.
yes, yes. Maybe on the long run, if I can change something, I maybe get a 1 to 4, but I don't want it. I just want to stay with what's working and has given me that 80%. I mean, not a lot of traders has have that 80, and it's not a 1 to 1. It's not a 1 to 2. It's almost a 1 to 3.
It's actually what I see here is it's over a 1 to 3. Your average loss in 4 months over 107 trades was $99, and your average win was 382. So you had a 1 to 3.4 risk reward ratio. Basically, every dollar you risked over the last 4 months, you got $3.84 back 80% of the time.
Okay, so it's better, but there are some numbers that get in. Like I wanted to also count with those commissions or whatever. But some days I see the previous day high, for example, and it's 1 to 4, and I say like, all right, I got my 1 to 3, but then something happened. I get a good candle. Or maybe it has happened to me that Thinkorswim closes a little above. So that plus from 1 to 3, it hasn't been like, every day. And it's not my rule.
It's just
Pure
you're
coincidence.
aiming for your 1 to 3 risk reward ratio and using some of the strategies I've taught you on how to trail your stop loss. You've just taken slightly smaller losses, but you're able to hold your gains towards your target. I think that's why it's slightly higher. And for me, I have like the same result as well. I have slightly above a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio.
Yes, one thing maybe I'll implement in the future, it's trailing my stop. But right now, I wanted to tell you that it's like two or three trades from that 100, whatever. It's not my thing,
No,
it's not my style.
I like the way that you've been implementing what I've taught you using the OCO brackets, and I want you to keep doing that. I just personally trail my stop loss. I saw a couple of your trades, though, where you exited early. Maybe you didn't trail your stop loss. You just cut off the trade while it was slightly in green or just like a small loss.
Yes, because I know about the 9 EMA, and there are some things that you see like markets going the other way, and sometimes, I mean, I have take my stop losses. I had, but using the 9 EMA and seeing the 9 EMA there, like I have to do it. And then I'll take a smaller loss. But the way that I want to trade and the way that it has worked for me is just setting up those OTA, closing the laptop at the close of the market, see what happened,
That's
right?
perfect. That's perfect.
Because it has happened to me, like, I don't know you, but I have closed 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 9 EMA trades, and then they went right up to the target. You never know what's gonna happen, right? Or
That's why when
maybe,
you create your plan and you do all this work to do your analysis, you should just trust your plan and follow
yeah,
it. Your one to
yeah.
three, especially since you're doing a little bit of an extra step. That's another reason why you could just follow your plan.
I will get my stop loss from time to time. It's okay, but I make sure that it stays low. It stays within a 20 to 30%. And on the couple of next trades, I'll make for that.
And I'm actually taking a look at this. Look at this. So you joined my mentorship program January 31st. That's the day you joined my program. This
Yes,
the trades you took in January. You used to have a 40% win rate and your risk reward ratio was 1 to 1. Like you just had
yes,
one really big winning trade and then all of them were kind of just like meh. And
yes.
now 79%, 1 to 3, and 30,000 profit. And that was starting from the trades you took by the end of the month in February. So literally in 1 month of studying my program, then starting to apply everything that you learned, that's when you had the biggest shift. And then that's incredible. You could see from the first personalized video that I created for you, this is when we started like making that shift. So I wanted to ask you like as you could see, every single week I was reviewing your trading journal and giving you like these personalized Loom videos and feedbacks of your trades. Like, what would you say, how impactful was the personalized videos and the trade reviews?
I would say that even though I fast forward some, there's a lot of information and you're constantly repeating. That gets on your mind. Above the 9 MA, above the VWAP. I see trades every day, but they are not above the 9 MA. They're not above the VWAP. And on the long run, you're going to get the stop loss. So there are some things that you keep repeating, but in the long run, they're true. They're going to blow in your face. Like, why did I enter this trade if the 90 May was on the other corner, the view up was right on the other corner, and you didn't
Like
see
my
it?
voice is right in your head now.
Yeah, yes. The Maris was like 90 May, view up. What the hell are you doing? So I also want to say that I have put the work. You say that you're seeing my journal. but like 3 or 4 days of the week, I had to inspect for over more than 40 companies every day and watch for my pattern, watch for those SMAs, mark those zones, and I still, I think that I'm missing something. There's some zones that I don't see it, right? Because it's not easy. I mean, maybe I'll get 6 months more of marking zones. But I see a pattern, right? I get, let's say, I get daily for over 12 stocks. You imagine 12 stocks that I have in my watch list, that I have drawn the supply and the demand, and not the first one, up to 2 or 3 zones, up and down. And you know what? On the other day, only 1 or 2, or maybe none, they didn't open on the demand. They didn't broke the demand on the supply. I feel that that work it was missed. Like, I did all the work for all those 4 months, but now I see it. There's in the journal.
Yeah,
It's
now you have the results. So like, you're putting in a lot of work, maybe a little more work than some other students do, but it
there.
definitely paid off. Like that extra work that you did, that's what gave you the 10 to 20% boost in your win rate.
Yes, I can compare a lot of trades, and most of the failed ones on the past, they were on the supply or on the demand, because in that zones, the price, it's like it's not sure. Maybe there's a seller and there's a buyer, and the price keeps floating there, right? Waiting for the break of the supply or the demand or the retest. That also it's an A plus in your academy. Maybe some students will get a 5% more if they trade within there. I'm pretty sure it's an A plus. It's something that has helped me a lot,
Yes,
right?
definitely. So basically, instead of trading inside of the zone, waiting for the candle to close outside of the zone.
Yes, yes. The 5 minute waiting for that candle to close. On some days, I gotta be honest, I go down to 3 minutes and I go like, the candle's gonna close. But then I remember, oh no, I'm 3 minutes. Okay, it's okay. And it never closed. And the trade never went, anywhere, because it's a rule
Because you're
and
a
you have to
student and you
follow
didn't
rules.
follow the rule. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I was able to help you with was like creating those rules. But like, maybe a lot of people watching this video, they feel like they tried in the past to create trading rules, and maybe you even tried in the past to create your own trading rules. What would you say is like your best tip on how to build discipline to not trade when nothing is lining up?
That's pretty difficult for me. Even when I started the OTA, I want to hit everything, right? Like I see a candle, even the EMA, what's aligned, the VWAP was aligned, everything was there, but there was something missing. There was something that was not okay. The 5 minute candle, or the volume, or this and that. It's really difficult. And what I would say, the journal has helped me a lot,
Ah,
because it's not writing the journal and putting your numbers in there and see those green, everything is green. That's not it. It's you have to review your journal. And when you review your journal, you're going to see those mistakes right in front of you. Why did I take this trade?
yeah. And in the past, where I know I saw your journal had like 10 trades on it, but were you like really journaling and reviewing your journal before?
I was, but it was pretty much red. And now it's pretty much green. You have to review your journal. You're going to see the mistakes in there.
So it's not just reviewing your journal, but it's also like what you think when you review your journal and the framework you have. Because in the past, like you tried to review your journal, but it was still red, versus like when you joined my mentorship, since I was able to review your journal every week, like I gave you the actual actionable feedback and like, okay, based off this review, this is what you should do next.
And by watching those videos, and I was like, your voice, it's in my head now. It wasn't before. There's some basic things that you have to do before taking a trade. And you remember about your journal. You remember about the VWAP, the 9 EMA, the demand zone. You remember all those things. And on top of that, you don't know what's going to happen. So you got everything. It's not on your favor to win, but you have to follow some rules.
So we could talk about that too, because that's something you've been mentioning a lot. Like the reality with trading is we're not wizards. We really don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yes.
So what I've taught you is my mindset and my psychology towards trading, which is basically I have my strategy, I have my exact rules. It's proven. We have the data behind it. So all I need to do now is just follow those rules and not really overthink. How has your psychology changed after watching my trainings?
It has helped me a lot because you have bad weeks. I have them. Everyone does. And you just have to be positive and say like, I don't have a good week and that's it. Next week is going to be better. Not over trading. Like I have learned that in your academy. That's important. Last time I was like revenge trading. I had 3 losses. I have to take one more, and I don't see a clear setup. Oh my God, it's almost 4 o'clock. It's not going to work. Overtrading, it's a problem, and I had that problem, and your program has helped me with that a lot. Everyone has red weeks. You just have to overcome those failures and get the next chapter in your life. I don't know any trader. I know that they don't publish the red results, but I don't know till today one trader that has 100% of winning, right? It's pretty difficult. You're not going to get it. So you have to deal with your mind and be prepared to have losses and a losing streak, which it's worse. I tried to get funded sometimes when I had the Forex program, and it hurts because you're on time, you have to do some trades and you have to follow some rules. On top of that, you don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to pay you or not. So trading life, it's hard.
Yeah, but one thing you just mentioned is like prop firms, which is Forex. And now with options, I taught you to come onto Thinkorswim and you trade with your own capital now. So now you don't have that problem. Like when you make your $1,000 in a day, you could spend it. You could get a debit card for your Thinkorswim account and you could spend it the same day. So before, were you using Thinkorswim?
No, no. Those prop firms, they have their own software. They have the MT4, I believe, and the MT5.
So
I
what do
have
you think about Thinkorswim since I taught you it?
I learned Thinkorswim from watching a ton of YouTube videos. But yes, some tips I learned in your program that I didn't know. And by making mistakes, thank God it was on paper trading. A lot of things that pop up and where did this came from? Some OCO that I didn't close, I forgot. Or maybe I should use the GTC and I used the day. The very first thing you have to do when you start in trading, it's to know the software. Even though it's Thinkorswim or Fidelity or Webbull or whatever, or Robinhood, whatever, you have to know the software
Yeah.
because if not, it will cost you money.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
So, if there's anyone watching this video and they're considering joining my mentorship program, what would you say to them?
Well, basically, you have a big database, a lot of things, a lot of people. It's not just me. There are a lot of testimonies. There are a lot of people that you have changed their lives. They work 9 to 5 and now they don't. Maybe they don't work at all. They took a trade and that's it. I know there has to be some swing trading that you took one trade per week and that's it. You can live with that. But you have to know where to open. and where to close it. And in your program, you can do that. I also wanted to say that the thing to access every recording in your program whenever I want, or like search, that search is a miracle. Like you put something in that search and it will bring you everything. Having that benefit, it's something that you won't get in other programs. You have to pay for this, that's extra a lot, that's twice extra. But having everything recorded in your program, and we don't know, maybe tomorrow you teach somebody that's gonna give you another strategy better than mine, and I might want to try it. But you have him recorded or her, I will see it, and maybe I'll try it, and maybe I'll implement it, right? So that's another A plus. You're open to new ideas, trading new stocks, finding new things, searching for this and that. And maybe next year or so, you will get onto another strategy. We don't know. But for having access to the database of OTA, just for that, I mean, I have paid your program, I mean, it has paid 10 times just for having access to what's in there and what's going to be, because it's not today. Markets are changing. Maybe next year or so, strategy changes. And I know you're going to keep on testing something and telling your students, now you look for this, now you look for that. Or maybe we're in an uptrend, maybe we're in a downtrend. Another thing, it's your pre-market plan. As I told you before, I spend like almost an hour finding my stocks every post-market. And on top of that, I open the OTA at 8:30 a.m. and I see what? Somebody has 3, 4 stocks more. Oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to select and I'm going to mark them and I'm going to, because if it's there, right? And what if my 10 stocks never hit the supply, the demand? I'm not going to be trading that day, but I have the Maris pre-market. Having access to that also paid for the program 10 times. You're a brainer. I have to, not on your stocks. I mean, lately you have been adding like Coinbase or Today Circle. It's like having your mind in there. It's like I have my stocks, I have my 10 stocks of the day, and now I'm going to get into the Mari's mind. That's it. You have the strategy, and we add your strategy to our strategy. That's A plus. So I hardly recommend this program to any trader. It could be a new trader or it could be a experienced trader. You have your tools, you have everything from A to Z. They're going to find everything what they need to be a successful trader. But they have to put the work. They have to see those videos maybe more than once. If you don't put the work, I mean, you see my journal, that has countless hours for building that journal, and it's only 4 months, but it has been a lot of hours. If you put the work, you get the results. If you don't put the work, if you're watching Netflix or doing some other stuff, then there's no program on the universe that is going to help you to become a successful trader.
I appreciate that, Ed. And just to say it again, I'm really, really proud of how far you've come in just 4 months. I'm sure that this is just the beginning for you. And like you said, you didn't just watch videos, you committed to the process, you asked questions, you showed up every single week, and you always asked for feedback. So, with all your hard work, dedication, and commitment, you definitely earned the results that you had. And basically, now that you've learned my processes, exactly how I trade, my strategies, and you know exactly what to do moving forward, you can become an independent trader and you know exactly what to do to maintain your results.
Yeah, that's true. But as I told you before, I'm going to keep up watching your pre-market. It's like, it's like getting into your brain. Even though maybe I know how to trade, or I know that I'm gonna find something new every day in that pre-market, and that's an A plus for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I want to focus on learning the price action, because the price action, it could tell us everything. And sometimes I see a chart and I go like, what? Everything is in there. I didn't see it, but it's in there. So I want to focus more on the price action and just staying my risk reward in 1 to 3, but selecting those trades like better. When you take a trade, we are daily traders. We have to be watching that trade, watching every candle, every move, like what's going to happen. If we buy the pre-market, or maybe within that 15 minutes, we know by seeing something there that is not going to happen, then it's our time. And our time is worth more than everything, right? So we don't get in the trade, we wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get better opportunities. So that's my one. I want to be focused more, like not entering in bad trades or trades that I know that they're not going to be good. Keep on watching those videos. I know I'm nearly the 80%,
I
but
saw that. That's good.
yes,
That's big.
but
I have students making profit in my program watching like 20% of the program. So you watch like 80%, that really shows like a big dedication. There's not that many people who get to like 100% completion.
yes, and I have watched them, some of them more than once. I want to try to went to bookmark, but in my mind was like, oh my God, another thing more. Like, I guess I don't know, maybe I'll have to wait 1 or 2 months more. Because it's a lot of thing, in your brain. Like you have all those things, and then like watching more bubbles in the screen, like I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The one thing about this program is that I teach you literally everything A to Z. So all of it is not going to be used all at once. Like
Yeah.
if you use the
Yeah.
SMAs, you don't use the RSI. For example, if you're doing like a whole analysis before the market opens in the high time frame, you don't need to watch price action as much because you did like all this extra stuff. So
Hmm.
it's all about the combination, like those set of conditions. That's mainly the main thing. So like for example, in 2022 and 2023, I used to trade on the S&P 500 and I just looked for supply and demand zones. I didn't really care if it opened there or anything because I just traded the same thing every single day. So I just found the
Hmm.
supply and demand zones and then I'd watch Bookmap because it'd be like 3 hours until it finally tests the zone and then it consolidates to the zone until it finally fills the order and then it rallies. So that's why I watched Bookmap back then. And it
Okay.
made sense in the context because it was like the setup. Because price would open in the middle, it would move towards the zone, then maybe there's like a double bottom. So then I have to watch Bookmap to make sure, like, okay, this is a real double bottom or is price going to continue down?
So you're saying that maybe by using my strategy, maybe I don't need to watch bookmark.
Exactly. That's what exactly I'm saying. Because
Also,
your
remember,
strategy,
I trade that stocks that don't have enough volume, and I'll go like, what? If let's say I open,
yeah, but
uh,
then, yeah, yeah. I mean, but Bookmap's not going to help you. If you just look at the volume ticker, it'll help more. If it has low volume, Bookmap shows you like relative colors. So if it's still, the thing is, you're already doing a lot. You already have 7 confirmations. What, you need Bookmap too? Like, no.
yeah, yes, and maybe my brain
Yeah.
is gonna explode.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, Bookmap could be helpful, but if you're gonna add Bookmap, you gotta remove something. Remove
Yes.
volume if you add Bookmap. And
Oh,
once you have more screens too, it makes a difference.
maybe next year I'll trade only SPY, or, move from what I'm doing, make a variance, whatever, and maybe I'll try bookmark. But right now I know that there's some stocks that maybe I won't get bubbles.
I've never seen bubbles not on stock. But maybe I've never opened something so small cap. But there's always bubbles. There's always
Yeah.
one.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I get there's a 7-day trial, something like that. Maybe I'll get the trial first, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could just watch it. And but honestly though, not now. Like, honestly, just don't get the trial now, but maybe later. So, what I recommend is right now, just try to do the same exact thing that you did for the entire month and do not change anything at all. And then at the end of the month, you look and you see your result, your win rate. And then whenever there's a month where your win rate goes down 10%, then that's when you could start thinking about what to change when you review your trades. So for example, last time I made a big shift in my trades was when I implemented volume price analysis. And that's because I reviewed like 6 months of trade data and I saw all my losing trades had the volume price analysis signal like I should not have entered. So then I implemented it into my trading because I looked at my own trading results, but not because I went to like YouTube.
All right. So you're saying that if I maintain my percentage, I
Then
don't,
you stay the same, you don't change anything. If the percentage goes down, then you try to implement one thing at a time.
yes, and if I got bookmap, then I'm not gonna be looking at volume because it will mix my head, right? Like booking a
Uh,
volume and look at a
Volume
book.
and bookmap is the same thing. So you choose one.
Okay.
So
All right.
volume's easier, just go with volume for now. But if you like the way that it's represented on bookmap, because you can actually see like buy orders, for example, then you use bookmap, but you don't combo them. When I use bookmap, I didn't even pay attention to volume.
It's one thing or it's the other,
Mhm.
but having a lot of indicators,
Just
uh,
need three confirmations. You don't want to have like too many things going on. So
yeah,
like
because
your scanner is four criteria, like three or four criteria.
mhm,
So when you enter the trade, you mentioned you need like one or two or three confirmations. But the
that's
thing
it.
is,
Yeah.
you have your four criteria on the 1 hour time frame. And then
Yes.
plus you have the demand zone. And then now when you open it on the 5 minute, you see it's above the 9 EMA. That's six confirmations. So it makes
That,
sense to enter.
yes, that's it. All right. So I'll keep on with my percentage, looking at that percentage.
Yes.
I'm not gonna aim for a 1 to 4 or a 1 to whatever.
Go for
I'm
one,
gonna stick
three,
one
stick
to
to
three.
exactly the same. And then at the end of
And
the month, that you could give me a update just to let me know. If there's anything going wrong and you need more guidance, you could also let me know. If you ever want to continue like the mentorship with me. But at this point, I think you're settled. And if you just do what you've done over the past 4 months, you should be able to repeat this over the next 4 months. And remember, do small scaling, just like how I did it, very small each month. So now for July, I already added it to your journal. I told you in the group call on Sunday what to scale it to for July. So wrote on your journal. So you could scale in July and then you don't scale up again until August. And you stay very disciplined and if you do all of this, I really believe in you and I think you got this.
okay, I took a trial on a trading journal online, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But when I wanted to I wanted to add my first trade, I was like, what? There was a
You
lot of
try
things
Trader
in there.
Sync or TradeZilla?
No, it's called TradeBiz, whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's a bad one. Just only go with Trader Sync or TradeZilla.
yeah, maybe I will. Yes, I
Yeah,
was.
I tried TradeViz. They actually, right before I chose Trader Sync, and I was like, damn, this one's shitty.
Yeah, it was totally a mess, and I didn't find where to add the trade. And when I finally did, there was no starting point, no ending point, no what? I was
Yeah, no. The only two, Trader Sync or TradeZilla. Thank you so much for taking this call with me today. If there's any roadblock in the future, you let me know. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope you have a great month of July as well.
yes, and I hope that OTA program and the school hits the 1,000 students pretty soon.
I'm not worried about it becoming 1,000 people. All I know is that you're one of those people, and I was able to help change your life. And that's what I'm most happy about. Ed, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. It's been truly inspiring to see how far you've come in just 4 months. making a $30,000 profit with an 80% win rate. To everyone watching, I hope Ed's story shows you what's possible with the right guidance, consistent effort, and a clear strategy. If you're currently struggling, remember, you're not alone and help is available. Don't hesitate to reach out. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. Go to demarstrades.com and apply to join my mentorship program. As always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.